Hello, class. My name is Anthony Rusnick, and today I'm going to be talking to you about my experiences and lessons learned from my PBL course, Business 690. So, this course dealt with several topics that are relevant to my career as a section chief for the Arkansas National Guard. Essentially, I am a supervisor for a recruiting and retention platoon, and my job is to supervise recruiters who put new enlistments into our National Guard. So I'm a motivator, I'm a mentor, and I'm a coach of sorts. So a lot of the lessons from this class directly correlate with what I do in my day-to-day operations. So the first thing we looked at is examining, leadership issues such as the culture, because the culture in the organization that we had in our case study was not great to say the least. And that is definitely something that I deal with in my organization because we have leadership at the top that continually cycle in and out, and that can change the culture in the organization on a dime because someone will have a great idea, they'll be here for 2 years, they'll shift, and then we'll have to shift gears, and the culture will change again when new leadership comes in. So it's always tough trying to adjust to a different culture. I try to set one standard and create the culture within inside my platoon, and to have positivity and to have a good morale. But that's tough because recruiting a lot is sales. So if you have a bad month, I have to constantly motivate and keep my soldiers positive so they don't drag everybody else down. So morale is big in any sales organization, but it's really big in recruiting, and that is an issue that directly correlates with the case study. And I spend most of my time trying to keep my guys motivated and focused on pushing forward and on to the next enlistment, on to the next applicant as far as that goes. One of the big issues that was dealt with in this case study was decentralized command or decision making. So they struggled with decision making. So I make it a point to empower each one of my soldiers to make decisions on their own, decentralized command, and I oftentimes we'll get on to them if they come to me and ask me, hey, what do you think about this decision? And I'll say, no, no, no. If you're asking me, then it's not your decision. I want them to make the decisions and learn the lessons on their own, right, wrong, or indifferent, and we'll move forward from that. So I'm a firm believer of decentralized command and making decisions in real time so that the outcomes are quickly. Everything is done more efficiently as far as that goes. That's something that the organization struggled with in our case study. So and that being said, we talked a lot about teamwork, which is my day to day. We couldn't survive if we didn't work as a team, and I learned some lessons. Some small tidbits that I can take back. I really learned a lot from the journals. I enjoyed the journals because they were all different, and I got to take a little bit from each one. So they were actually really good, and the critical thinking. So the transformational leadership is something that we wrote about in our paper because with most organizations, transformational leadership seems to be the best way to go because you want to innovate, you want to empower your employees, and you want to foster creativity. And that's something that I lead with. I'm very much a servant leader mixed with transformational leadership is how I like to operate, and that's kind of the way that we advise this organization move forward to ensure that they can increase the employee morale because it was suffering, and they can innovate to move forward as far as that goes. The case study dealt with gender dimensions and cultural dimensions, and that's not something that the military really has a big issue with. That I really love that we're a melting pot of a little bit of everybody. Every race, every creed, every religion, we have a little bit of everything. So there wasn't a lot that I could take from the case study that we're not already implementing, but there was some that we got to add to the case study from our experiences as far as that goes. So all in all, this particular class cemented the importance of culture within an organization. It further, drove the nail home that you have to empower your employees. Your employees have to have a positive morale because an employee with a positive morale is going to produce more for you. They're going to try harder. They're going to take ownership in the organization, which ultimately is only going to benefit you as a leader. Employees that have a bad morale or bad attitude, they're going to bring everybody around them down, and that's only going to hurt you, and you're going to have to get rid of them. They're like a cancer. The quicker you can get rid of them, the better off you're going to be. So at the end of the day, empower your employees so they can perform at a high level, increase accountability, make a positive culture in your organization, and your performance will improve. So I really enjoyed the class, and my classmates had some great classmates where I was able to take a lot of their personal insight from their professional experience and implement that into our case study and some tidbits I can take away for myself in my personal career. So I want to thank everybody for that. And with that, that's all I got.